So this issue was an excellent read. We have Action Comics number 584. During this era, we had the Superman and some other group or some other person. It's almost like they said, DC Comics Presents, we don't need you anymore. And then Action Comics became DC Comics Presents. You know, DC Comics Presents where we had, you know, Superman and somebody. Well, anyway, another great issue because we have John Byrne doing the story and the inks, or I should say the pencils. And he's a fantastic artist, one of my favorites. The story is basically starting off where she's, you know, basically they're downtown Metropolis for some event. And all of a sudden, Superman goes bonkers trying to just blow things up with his fist. And then Cyborg's there to save the day. And, well, Cyborg is basically turning the debris into dust. Oh, Captain Crunch. Oh, and look, we have over here other Superman comics. Oh, look, it's where the Adventures of Superman took over the numbering of Superman. I think it was just Superman, which oddly enough, you know, it's like, why didn't they just, okay, whatever. And then he's like, ha ha ha, I've got so much power. And he's just acting like he's, you know, just done this for the first time, which is so weird because Superman is, you know, he's been doing this for years. Cyborg's trying to get his attention and, well, he does it. Superman gets mad. Oh, does he get mad? And he just takes him apart. Basically trying to kill him, but at the last second gets surprised. And then, of course, knocks him off the building. Whee! Well, you know Cyborg's going to live. He did say something about a Prometheus suit, which I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't that in, like, the 1990s? He had that weird golden Metal Man kind of suit. I don't know if that's the Prometheus suit or not. He tries to call the Teen Titans, but of course, Garth is being silly. And we have Wonder Girl and Garth as the only two Titans that are there, oddly enough. They go down to Metropolis to join in the fight to stop Superman. Finally, we get, you know, some all-out brawl. And of course, the Magic Lasso doesn't quite hold Superman like we hoped it would. And he starts actually flirting creepily at Supergirl. Somewhere it was like, oh, I think it's probably a little bit later on. Here it is. It's like, before you die, we can do some other things. It's like, creepy. Over here we have Jericho helping some deaf kids in a all-deaf school. And the Amislan, American Sign Language. He hears about it, runs off to help. And he said a very brave thing in sign language. I'm going to help or die trying. So Jericho, who we don't think is really a powerful superhero, he can still do some powerful things, which we'll find out in a few seconds, because while everybody's doing their brutal act on Superman, which is not going to work because he is the super strongest man on Earth. Splot. I thought that was going to be some kid throwing an apple at him. Jericho gets his attention. He's like, well, I'm going to deal with you the same way. Jericho locks eyes on Superman, transferring his soul into Superman, taking over his motor functions. And he wins, but he's not going to be able to hold him for long. So while they're talking about what are we going to do, we need either magic or kryptonite in order to contain Superman. This guy rolls up and he says, no, he's not. I'm Superman. And while he's explaining the story, while Jericho's motor controlling Superman, which I wonder how far his remote control abilities are, because is Jericho just laying back there? I mean, he's carrying Cyborg. Wonder Girl's carrying nobody. Where's Jericho's like physical body at? I don't know. It's one of these things that I think about. And then, of course, Superman's explaining what happened where, well, he was going to help out this guy right here who's created a clean fuel. Let's see exactly how it's explained. Experiment. The successful Gunnarsson would create a great new pollution-free source of energy, which is something we all would want. Even back in 1987, I think this was. We were thinking about that kind of stuff. Well, when he got there, it was a trap. It's a trap. Superman and this guy gets changed. And then Superman, of course, locks him in there and is going to bring him food because he's not quite sure if this is going to be a permanent thing or if he's going to have to keep his host original body alive. So he just kind of locks him in there. Of course, he knows how to get free. He's not been doing this like just one day. He's been a Superman for a long time. So he gets out, takes a taxi down to Metropolis. And now they're at the machine. Flip the switch. They're back in place. Ta-da! The day is saved. Now Jericho can leave his body and I wonder if Jericho's got to walk all the way back to where his body was. Huh. You know, these are some things that I ponder. And then you got this extremely long... It's like they're trying to cram everything into the last panel here. He's complaining because he's crippled. And he's like, no, history is full of women and men and women who overcame incredible handicaps. And it's like, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. It just feels like a PSA, but it's crammed in a teeny tiny little part right here. Well, on the next page, I guess they didn't want to spoil this part, where we have like what's going to happen in next issue. Dun, dun, dun. Lex Luthor. Well, I thought this was a fantastic comic, and I hope you go and pick up one of these yourself, because I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I paid like not very much for mine, but I also got it a long time ago. I definitely recommend picking it up. Since it is DC Day today, of course, this video won't go out on DC Day unless I think about it. You might want to get old DC. So every day that Mark does new DC Day, I'm doing old DC Day. Well, y'all have a fantastic day, whatever day it is.